All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another Toonkind at 12 frames per second. I'm Kraken, coming at you again with Craigory, Danthew-Dovran, Wizard Warlock, with kind of a plan. And with me today is...
Hi, I'm Hex, and I'm playing someone new. Kind of new. You've met her before, uh, briefly. I'm playing Chateau,
all going to be
the,
great.
yep, the doll who is learning to people. It's fine. There's other things about her, but, you know.
I mean, if we didn't know before, we might learn today.
Yeah! It's gonna be fun.
Speaking of Chateau, I think we had discussed that Chateau is either on her way to or is just finishing a visit with Gibbs.
Yes. Likely finishing a visit. And was gently encouraged to likely let it rest or, just do what it needed to do to help recover. So she's leaving the manor. I'm assuming she's leaving the manor at this. No, she stays in the manor. She's going for a walk. She was encouraged to let Gibbs rest, and she doesn't know what to do, so she's going for a walk.
Yeah, just satisfy my curiosity here. Like, how much time has Chateau been spending in there to be forcibly shooed out?
Well, she doesn't need to eat or sleep. So,
Non-stop. Gotcha.
yeah. Yeah. She might feel a teensy weensy bit guilty.
Oh, honey.
Just a little. It has been I'm assuming it has been very carefully explained to her how this is not her fault. She does not need to feel that guilt, but it is natural to feel that, this whole thing has been explained to her. And so she understands that, and RJ has confirmed that it's not her fault, but feeling the guilt is okay and natural, but you shouldn't let it eat you up. You should probably, get out and do something. And so that is what she is now doing, is leaving and doing something.
The something yet to be determined.
Yeah, it's a walk. She's going for a walk. She'll figure out the rest afterwards.
Yeah, or, it might be figured out for her.
You know how things tend to work when you're around tunes.
Pretty much. So, think then, perception check Chateau.
Oh boy. Okay. Let's see what your perception is. Okay. Oh, come here, guys. We are off to a great start, honey. Oh, Chateau. Oh, my darling, darling dearest. Nope, that's the wrong number. That was a nat 1. We're off
Oh
to a
my
great
god.
Start. We're off to a fantastic start.
So how's that guilt treating you?
Yeah, like I said, this has been very, they've explained things at length to her because that is the best way for her to learn. But having it explained and putting it into practice are different things. And so she is walking and she is grappling with these emotions that she's not sure that these are new. She's not certain really how to handle it, how to combat it. So she is very much lost in her thoughts, looking pretty troubled, just kind of meandering wherever Kara steers her, just on autopilot, really.
God. Since that is a nat 1, I think it has to be Chateau doesn't realize that someone has, A, approached her, B, tried to say words at her and didn't get a response.
Yeah.
And C, only
That's
clocks
fair.
this when there is a very careful prod at a shoulder.
You know what? That's fair.
Chateau has been like
And
power
that is,
walking. This person is kept up.
I don't even think it's a power walk. Like I mean, based on how what she is and like the personality she was kind of given, it's more like one of those just like casual meanders. If anything, it's the frustrating like escort mission walk.
Oh my fucking god.
It's
That's
just
horrible.
slow enough to be annoying. Yeah. But she does finally like that. She gets poked in the shoulder, and that is definitely enough to jar her out of her thoughts. And she starts, with like a little clink, with a little clink of porcelain, and looks around very alarmed, like, who is there?
Craigory Danthew is right there.
Just like right next to her, maybe even in front of her, like walking backwards.
You know what? That's yes.
Incredible. Her head darts up, with I would call it a startled squeak. And I can't make the sound that she makes, but it is a squeak, and it's kind of adorable. It's, and then she finally registers, oh, Mr. Craigory, sorry. I did not see you there.
No, I gathered that. His hand has retracted quickly now that attention has been gotten.
Mm-hmm.
You seem like you have a lot on your mind, but listen, could I talk to you? Could we chat? Just
Oh,
I don't think we've even properly met. Hand sticks out again for a
no,
shake.
We have not. You. He says that, and Chateau is mid going, we have not. You have actually been avoiding me. But then the hand comes out. And she's, I don't think that's okay. All right. And she daintily takes his hand.
Doing the proper introduction here.
She takes his hand. If he shakes, she curtsies in return.
Nice.
Like, gives a little shake and then kind of curtsies in the same motion. It's very elegant.
Graceful.
Mm-hmm. What can I help you with? I assume there's something you need help with?
In a sense, yeah. Yeah, in a sense, like maybe.
You get a curious head tilt.
I have some questions I'd like to ask you, and I know this is kind of out of the blue. You're not wrong. I have been avoiding you, like safety reasons. You probably know, you understand. It might be kind of invasive, so like if you need payment of some sort, like you can do that. I don't know.
Chateau kind of tilts her head again, and the other way. I'm happy to answer any questions. Payment is not needed. That is, that implies that this is transactional, and I am happy to answer any any curious questions.
I mean, knowledge gaining can get pretty transactional, but listen, how about You were walking. We can walk and talk, yeah? And Craigory's gonna fall in step beside rather than doing the jogging backwards thing.
Yeah. And now that she is not lost in her thoughts, her walk is much less infuriatingly slow. But she does just kind of fall into like a stride that's I would say it's casual, but you notice, Craigory, as you two are walking, that she's not leading, she's following. So wherever you're kind of like steering is she's just kind of moseying with you.
Mm-hmm. And I think Chateau then noticed. I think Chateau kind of made it out of the manor.
Mm-hmm.
It's a meander, but Craigory's not really leaving manor grounds, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, okay.
The greens, the lawn, if you will, around.
However much lawn the manor has.
It's a manor. It's a manor.
For our purposes, it's fine. But Chateau, doesn't comment on this, just kind of walks with him. And ever graceful, and to the point, just simply asks, "So, what is it that you want to know?" Oh.
I want to know how you were created.
Ah. You could, really? One moment, I'm sorry. Alright. You didn't have to do that. There you go.
Cat time.
I'm so sorry, my cat was just, being the biggest nuisance she could be.
That's what they do best.
Yeah. They do that best. But, so Craigory asks, wants to know how Chateau was created, and she just kind of, like, nods as if this is a perfectly normal thing to ask. And she says, well, unfortunately, I cannot give you any more than I have given Ro when he asked, when he questioned me on that. But, well, I can tell you, what I know, anyway. It was a process. Is there anything specifically that you are interested in knowing?
I mean, the entire thing, if you're willing, but specifically how you are what you are. Vague gesture up and down, then following clarification. What process made you a thaumaphore?
All right. Well, it is, unfortunately, a lot of that information was lost when, my creator's manor was raided. But I can tell you a lot of my creation is similar to, that of creating a homunculus. Not, at least at the base. That was what he had started with, if his research notes are as detailed as, well, most of his other things. He had started with a homunculus and iterated on that. And she kind of frowned a little bit, like, it's It took a lot of magic, and it was not a quick process. I recall reading in his notes that it had taken almost 2 decades to get it correct. Chateau is kind of looking down at her hands as she's explaining all of this, and racking her brain as much as she can. And then she kind of has are you aware of the process of creating a homunculus? My apologies, I should have asked.
I would say Craigory has at the very least a passing familiarity.
Yeah.
At the very least from Henrik, who went on a spiel in the short time where they were trying to recruit him into this. Like, surely you will be... No, Craigory was not. Do you want me to roll Arcana to see how much that...
Yeah, roll Arcana.
What is... Okay. Say it is 22. Yeah, Craigory has a pretty good functioning knowledge.
Yeah. So then you would know, Craigory, that the process of creating a homunculus, and I'm gonna kind of gloss over a bunch of it because it's a whole fucking ritual. But you would know that it takes blood and some very expensive spell components. At least 1,000 gold worth of spell components, and then depending on the other things you use, it can get even more expensive. And you are basically transferring your life blood into this thing. From a mechanical standpoint, you're basically sacrificing hit dice to give this thing hit dice. And so you understand, Craigory understands that this is, it's a very intricate spell, and it can take it out of you to get it working. So Chateau kind of implying that she was created in a similar way kind of tracks, and also tracks with what you have now, the knowledge you have gained about Thalmavors yourself.
Which Craigory nods like, yeah, I've got an understanding of how Thalmavors work, the broad sweeps at the very least. I suppose the question following is it's one thing to create a homunculus, but do you know if you were intended to be a Thalmavor from the start? Was that an intention or an accident?
Chateau kind of think on that one. I do think my first iterations were meant to solely be a homunculus, for a lack of a better term for it, because my creator specifically did not want a homunculus. He wanted, well, and she kind of gestures to herself, like, something a little bit more lifelike. And I think as the iterations occurred, I think the intent changed. So, to answer your question, no, I don't believe I was intended initially to be a homunculus, or a Thalmavor, but I was I, there's emphasis on the I, was created with the intent of being one.
Right, okay. Kraken mostly just seems to be thinking very hard about that for a moment.
I will say I am uncertain if my creator being a vampire had any influence on that, or if that made the process easier.
Huh. I mean, maybe vampires and life force are a thing, yeah.
Indeed. It possibly was part of the reason the entire
The entire
the construction succeeded. She had almost called it a ritual, but then she kind of paused and backtracked on that.
I'll admit I don't know too much about vampires. Is there like something particular to their magic? Is that what you think may have went on?
Chateau kind of like shrugs, which from her is
Astoundingly person-like.
Yeah, she just kind of shrugs. I unfortunately I don't know. Based on what I understand about vampires, they feed on life force, so therefore sacrificing theirs to create something, I guess in theory could create something that feeds on a force. But well, sadly I was not in the mindset to be curious about that sort of thing. And my knowledge only comes from the notes that I was able to read in the assistance of my creator.
Chateau could do an insight if she liked.
Oh boy. Chateau, honey.
Oh.
Honey. It's not a nat 1.
Apparently not much better.
It's a 2.
Oh god.
Chateau's not meant to read people. Apparently.
Chateau wasn't meant to be a people. She's trying.
Chateau was not meant to be a people. She's not meant to read people. She's only meant to, follow orders and regurgitate information. And unfortunately, in this instance, she doesn't have a lot of information to regurgitate.
Between that and the fact that this is the first and only time that she and Craigory have substantially interacted at all, she does not know this person.
She does not know this person. She quite frankly thinks this person doesn't like her and is only talking to her out of some kind of necessity. So she's being pretty she's being as to the point as she can be.
So it may then come as kind of surprise to Chateau when, out of nowhere, apparently, to Chateau, Craigory then seems to completely switch track entirely out of nowhere and ask, and how are things going for you since? How's learning to branch out, as it were. You doing all right?
Blink, blink, blink. Head tilt. I believe I'm doing all right. I am able to maintain myself and fix repairs, and Ro and the Mayor Macabre have been most gracious in helping me understand things. Blank, blank. I I guess you could say it is going quite well. Although it's hard to judge something as subjective as that, but
I
well,
suppose.
I'm learning.
That's honestly the best thing to do, I think, learning. I'm glad to hear that, honestly.
She kind of nods at that, offers a little smile.
Craigorys smiles back. He's been a little awkward. But
What about you, Mr. Craigory? How are you doing?
been worse. Been better, but it's been worse. I haven't actually been to see Gibbs yet. I kind of was on the way now to go check in on it.
You can roll insight if you'd like.
I'd love to. Let's see if Craigory can best Chateau at all. Oh, hex.
Yes, yes, yes.
You got a 2 on the dice.
Yes.
He matches. Strangers.
Terrible.
Strangers.
Strangers. Chateau is just that blank slate of nothing. But you do get a bit of insight in that she does, when Craigory mentions going to see Gibbs, Chateau kind of, pauses a moment and says, "It should be resting right now. You would likely be turned away if you tried to visit now."
Okay, alright. Chateau is not sure what it means that Craigory seems to relax at that, but whatever.
Yeah. Chateau is just kind of like, I'm talking to Craigory now, I guess. This is fine.
It has been months probably, and this has not happened before.
Yeah, actually, it has been months, and yeah. If anything, the last time Chateau walked into a room with Craigory, he turned on his heel and left. So
yeah, I was about to say, the kind of thing is, like, they've both been existing at various points in the same, space. The manor's pretty big, but yeah, Chateau's not all wrong in that. Up until this point, Craigory, especially when he first arrived, was actively avoiding her.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, making no real bones about it.
And yeah, and honestly, I don't think she would have like asked about it in a, why does he always leave? I imagine it might have been, slightly explained, but honestly, she's probably just come to the conclusion of, he's a wizard and I eat magic, therefore there's probably something there I don't understand, and that's fine. the fact that he's here now and he's asking how she is, this is weird.
It's very weird.
This is weird. He wants something. He even offered to pay for information, so, like, clearly this is, like... This is important. Which, honestly, following this line of thought, once, Gibbs's, situation is kind of explained, Chateau does, follow up with, do you have any other questions you'd like to ask?
A lot. Honestly, I probably need to pick a proper list. Look, this is kind of weird for me. Okay, I've had questions since day one, but it still feels dangerous to ask. But I also kind of need to know at this point.
Get another head tilt. Why is that? Why do you need to know?
This is going to sound insensitive. I need to know so that someone like you can't happen again. Not... Wow.
Inside.
Yay!
Bad inside.
Alright, have a 13.
Okay. So... Archie. So you say that, and it's hard because she's made of porcelain. A lot of the like minute bits of movement that you would normally get from especially tunes, but from most other things in general, are kind of lost. But with a 13, you do definitely notice that she goes kind of deathly still with that one, like still as a statue. She's very clearly falling back into a I'm not gonna call it backsliding, but she is slipping back into a this is a delicate situation. I know I don't know how to handle it this way, but I will do it this way kind of deal. So he sees her go still as a statue, kind of straighten her shoulders back, tilts her chin up a bit more, and then she very carefully, picking her words, says, "Is this in relation to the thrall?"
Craigory was already wincing. But...
Yeah. It gets worse. And Chateau kind of... If research notes still being around are a concern of yours, I can assure you that the information I have provided is all that remains. My creator's lab was burned down when he was killed.
I believe you. I believe you.
She stops.
That didn't come out great. You're not wrong, okay? You're not bad or ugh. Yeah, it's about Thrall. It's about Thrall not having access to anyone or anything like you because Thrall with the ability to create not just a Thaumaturge, but multiple even is just, it's bad news bears. And I want to understand. I want to understand more how it happens so that it can't. Not. I don't want to destroy the information, right? It's not. I just don't want them to have it.
Mr. Craigory, I feel like that is a dangerous path to follow with your current situation.
Well, it's kind of already too late, so may as well full commit.
You say that the Thrall having this information is dangerous, and currently you are, as it has been explained to me, what's the word I'm looking for here?
What is the word? There's a few that could apply.
There are, and I'm trying to figure out the best one here.
The most Chateau word.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, given that you are currently conscripted into their services.
One way to put it.
I feel like she kind of dips her head. I feel like you having this information might also be dangerous.
Look, I'm going to be talking to the mayor and Asclepius soon about this, real soon, but Pandora's box has already kind of been opened on this one, so I need everything I can get. I need to understand.
Quick intelligence here. Oh my god, this dice fucking hates Chateau. Okay.
Oh my god, Chateau, your brain, honey.
Another fucking nat one.
Oh my god. Do you want mine? Do you want my dice?
We're gonna get the skull dice. Hang on. Lucille's dice doesn't like Chateau, so let's try this one. Okay, that's much better immediately. All right. That's a 16. We like that number. Okay. So you mentioned, Pandora's box is kind of opened. Chateau's been encouraged to do a lot of thinking and a lot of chasing trains of thought, I guess would be the best way to say that. You have a wild thought, follow it, see where it takes you, learn, grow, become a person. And I'm gonna say that with that's an 18 with her intelligence modifier. I'm gonna say that Chateau looks at Craigory, and you don't even need to roll insight because she's terrible at hiding emotions or anything. You see realization kind of dawn.
Yeah.
Have you learned something specific, Mr. Craigory? Have you found some kind of information.
Yeah. And I want to have as much of it as possible before I take that mess to Jacques. Besides, honestly, if we were worried about too dangerous, just me talking to you is already that. Like, you never did meet Thrall, did you? They don't give up. If they believe that they own you, which they do believe that about you. They don't give up. This is already a risk.
Chateau kind of nods. I feel like here, at least, it is the safest place that you could talk with me.
Exactly. Gestures
But-
at nearby manor. Taps. Hip. Where the no detection amulet is.
The VPN, the macabre VPN.
Yeah.
So, Chateau nods at that, like, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's okay. She looks down at her hands again. I know that, like I said, my creation came with, well, with lifeblood being utilized, and based on some of the theorizing that Ro has made, it's possible there is a lot of abjuration and transmutation magic at work in, well, animating me. And she kind of like, she moves her hand in a way that like clicks the joints.
Doggo cookie clack.
But I'll go clicky clack. But the process that animates me and the process that makes me what I am are different in a way. It was two separate procedures that created what I am, so to speak. One to animate, the other to imbue. This is theory at the moment. Unfortunately, when my creator had the breakthrough that created me, he did not see fit to keep those specific notes for understandably good reason.
Yeah. Ditch.
It is exactly as useful and useless as he had hoped.
Yeah. With this apparently better die, Chateau could try for another insight.
Let's see. Hey!
Hello?
It almost fucked me. It almost rolled a 3. It did not.
What?
It rolled a 19. So hey.
Hey.
19 with her insight makes it a dirty 20. So A. Fucking finally.
Nice. Yeah, which helps because there is there is confliction going on here in Craigory's stance and expression in response to this. The fact that there were notes, there are no more notes. that is information lost. Which, on one hand, good in that it means Thrall or other people who would use it for bad purposes can't get their hands on it. That is good. But he's also making just... The word that's coming to my mind to describe this expression is just stinky. It's displeased cat face. Just, that's also information lost. That's destroyed. And that's frustrating. It rankles
Chateau.
him the wrong way. That's... doesn't
damn
like
it,
that.
Chateau. All right. Well, Craigory.
It's a little bit like he's in pain hearing it.
Yeah. Well, Craigory, Chateau is nothing if not altruistic. So she sees this pained expression and does ponder a moment and then says, I do have an eidetic memory with my creator's notes. I could recreate what I have read, if you would like. Not complete, but you could. It would be a basis for you to work off of.
We're continuing that insight. Craigory looks hungry. Eyes fucking lock on Chateau.
She kind of shifts a moment. That's an unsettling look. I am going to assume that that is acceptable.
That is a word for it. Yeah, that's... Chateau, what you hold might be some of the last remnants of research on this there is. Because Thrall certainly doesn't have any more. You said yours got burnt up in a fire, so did theirs. That was me.
Chateau actually kind of smiles. Based on what you have told me, that is a good thing.
It's good, but God, it hurt. He kind of glances around almost guilty, like checking to see if there's anyone else around. There isn't. And kind of leans down like he's sharing a great big secret.
Yeah.
I kind of regret it sometimes.
She kind of like nods in a way that says like she understands but she doesn't get it.
Good enough.
Yeah. So she kind of nods, regardless, sometimes some sacrifices must be made for progress. That isn't the correct quote for this situation, but that is the one my creator used to say a lot.
Yeah, it's done, but man. Anyway, shakes his head like an Etch-a-Sketch to get back on topic. If you could do that, that'd be great. I think
Of
that could
course.
help. If it makes you feel better, maybe you don't even share it with me. Says that reluctantly, but just having it on paper, on record, that's valuable. And, like, I mean that. That's valuable. Like, I mentioned, that's not something you just do for free. Like,
Again, Chateau just kind of shrugs a shoulder. I've given some information to Ro. Not the full notes, but summaries, when they asked. I do not mind sharing it, Mr. Craigory.
all the same, it doesn't
It's
feel right. It doesn't feel right if I don't offer some kind of deal. So maybe we just
Again,
call
Chateau
it.
kind of tilts her head. Why is that? I have said that it is all right.
No, no offense meant here, Chateau, but Craig is trying to figure out, like, A, how to word this, B, how to word this in a, not shove his entire foot in his mouth again.
Again, yeah. Well, Craigory, what you got?
I get the impression that you were and probably are still just used to doing what you're told. And that's liking to help is fine and good, but it's no way to live, just having to do anything you're told. So if we like, we could just call it as, I don't know, do you want a meal? I don't know how this works. I don't know how that works.
I assure you, I do not need any magic. Keeping fires out at the college keeps me well fed.
He actually snorts out a loud laugh at that.
I appreciate your concern, Mr. Craigory, but I would not have offered to supply these notes of my own free will if I did not want to help you.
Okay, so long as you're clear on that. I didn't want to accidentally order you into anything.
I'm getting a lot better at that, and I appreciate your concern on that a lot.
Yeah.
She kind of thinks a moment, and then, if you would like, I can go make some tea and we can get some notes written.
You know what? Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, get more on this acquaintances business rather than just me appearing out of nowhere after ignoring you for months and demanding things.
Yes. That Chateau doesn't quite know how to say this without sounding mean, so she's just not gonna say anything. Just You did do that, yes.
For your safety, I hope that came across, but still.
Do you honestly want me to answer? Do you want me to answer that honestly?
Feelings aren't that fragile. If you thought I was a horrible person, that's it's fine.
For a brief moment, until Mère Macabre assured me otherwise, I was rather convinced you thought me an abomination. You avoided me out of fear that I would, I don't know, consume you. Entirely. She like wiggles her fingers in the spooky way.
Yeah. No, you're not the most intimidating thaumatrope I've met for that. Did anyone ever tell you about gelosity, actually?
No. I. There's another one. There's another thaumatrope.
There is another thaumatrope. I can tell you about her over tea. And like, Craigory doesn't know where she's planning to go for this.
She's walking up to the manor.
Okay, good. If she's taking the lead, then he's following.
Yeah. No, she's heading up to the manor because Asclepius has the good tea.
The good shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Craigory's just going to start going off about gelosity.
Chateau is listening intently, and is in fact asking, "How on earth you did that, Craigory? How did you do that?"
And he's just going to go, well, I really only feel like explaining it once if I have to, so might just keep that on lid for, the mayor and such. I didn't know that was the whole thing. But now I think I do.
You say that, and Chateau kind of stops, turns to look at him. You mean you figured it out?
I think so.
You can see her, you can clearly see her thinking and processing this. Like, were there fans, they would have been kicked onto high gear in her little computer brain. And she kind of... Oh, go ahead.
When things are safe for you out there, safe for both of us at this point, really, would you like to meet her?
Absolutely, yes. I would love that.
Great. I think she'll like you.
Chateau, is still kind of a little reeling from, hey,
Not alone.
one, not alone. Two, you can make more. Well, you know how to make more. And she's... When do you plan to tell the mayor and his husband?
Tomorrow, maybe? As soon as possible.
And Chateau nods at that, like, good. I would heavily advise you tell them. I would almost say now, this is, I've been kept out of the loop on
they've been busy with Gibbs.
these
Gibbs needed
matters.
the priority.
She does kind of concede that point of yeah, Gibbs has been priority, but this is important. Yeah, okay. Good then. That's good. This is something they will need to know.
Yeah. Like I said, basically as soon as I can gather them and Lynn in the same room, and maybe you?
If you would like, I can help you get everyone together.
I think that at least would be appreciated.
And she nods. She can do that.
Craigory does still not feel entitled to impose on the Spookies' time.
Well, Craigory, you can totally, you can make it an exchange since you seem to want to do that.
Deal.
Yep.
But
So, you know.
maybe quickly brew that tea since they agreed to, and then maybe they can start kicking this whole thing into gear.
Absolutely, yeah.
Hey, maybe, just, hey everyone, we're gathered for a chat. There's tea already ready.
Hey, everybody. How about that? Just call everyone in here and be like, hey, so, got some news.
Yep. All right.
God.
I don't think I have anything else.
I don't either. Unless we were to literally drag V1 and RJ in this fucking FBI.
Surprise!
Like, go,
double
bitches.
feature.
Double feature. Let's fucking go.
I think maybe what we do is we end this recording and either come back in a few minutes or come back when the Wild is definitely available.
Yeah, we'll end this one with Chateau brewing tea and at least starting to kind of like jot down the notes that that she recalls, which Craigory, first of all, this is actually a little bit extra that I just kind of remembered. These aren't just notes. So this is a fun little tidbit. And I'm not gonna roll it because fuck it, the Chateau can do this. I say so, the dice don't get to be mean. She starts to write, she starts to kind of write, I guess you would call it a header. And you notice her handwriting is, very, very neat. Very, very, very neat, very precise. And then she actually starts writing the notes. And they're atrocious.
She's doing an exact copy. Hell yeah.
She is literally photocopying these notes from her memory. Complete with minor bits of schematics thrown in there.
Photocopier noises.
She is literally photocopier noising this. And yeah, that's just, that's what she's doing right now as this tea brews. And she's talking with you as she's writing. Like, she's not even looking as she writes. Because, again, just fucking weird-ass doll. She can do this, because I say so.
Actually a reliable office printer.
Pausing. I need more ink.
That's an excellent place to leave it. All right.
Awesome. Excellent. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yup. Thanks for playing with me.
Yeah, thank you.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.